Would you like to learn from those that are taking their lives, their businesses, and their passions to the next level? Best-selling author of Speakeasy and master connector Lou Diamond is here to connect you to some of the most inspiring and amazing people on this planet. Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Welcome, everyone, to another absolutely amazing, simply awesome episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond. Today on Thrive Loud, we have the CEO everyone assumed had it all together and a competitive athlete who knew what winning looked like until a rare heart event flipped her world upside down. From boardroom to bodybuilding stage, from being unseen to becoming a survivor and truth teller, she now teaches high-achieving women how to reclaim their voice, insist on their purpose, and lead boldly. Thrive Loud listeners and viewers, speaker, coach, best-selling author, and purpose-filled powerhouse, Tara Benoit. Tara, welcome to Thrive Loud.
Thank you, Lou. I'm so happy to be here.
Tara is excited because if I'm going to just focus this on the background here, she's got hearts in the background. She's got hearts everywhere.
Yeah.
A heart in her hand, I think, the other day, too.
Yes, I have hearts everywhere. Hearts, 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 hearts.
Because heart is something that is literally at the heart of everything that she is and everything that happened. So I gave the prelude here in the beginning and a little bit of a teaser. Do me a favor, Tara, bring our listeners up to speed. Share with the listeners kind of what had happened that got us to where we are right now.
Yes, absolutely. Well, in a nutshell, my heart tore. And in May of 2023, despite being in the best shape of my life with no cardiovascular risk factors, I survived a rare heart attack that is called SCAD. And it's when an artery separates and tears in your heart. And that was the moment my life tore apart, not just my artery, but every other part of my life. And it put me in a place where I really needed to figure out what my purpose was and come full circle with that. I don't mean to pause, but Can we pause for a second? Sorry.
Sure.
So am I watching myself talk when we do this by myself? And there's like a delay, so it's just throwing me off a little bit.
I apologize with the delay.
No, that's
it all sounds good on my end, so there is no delay.
okay.
It's just
I just wanted to make sure. Sorry, because that you said earlier you had shut down, so I wanted to make sure that was.
I shut down because the delay was really big, but now on mine, this is as fluid as possible. So it's all you need.
Okay, great. Right. Sorry. Do you want to start again, or?
I'll go to this part. I'll just be like,
okay.
So how did we get where we are today?
Yeah. So let me tell you. In May of 2023, despite being in the best shape of my life and having really every part of who I was, as I would have thought, be perfectly curated, I survived a rare heart attack, which is known as SCAD. It stands for spontaneous coronary artery dissection. And it's when an artery in my heart tore. And when that happened, not only did it tear an artery, but it broke apart every part of my life. What I thought was strong, what I thought was resilience, what I thought purpose was. And that's what is leading me here today.
So I get the physical piece of it, but let's talk about maybe the non-physical piece of it, emotional side, or what was in between your ears. To put it simply, what did you feel was wrong?
After the heart attack?
Yeah, and not physically, obviously, with your chest, but obviously you said there was something with your life that was just not in balance, if you would.
Yes, and this goes back to society, really. We are constantly pushing ourselves in every day to do more. How much can we actually put in our schedules, the titles we're trying to chase, the meaning of life, how early we get up, how late we go to bed, and how we jam pack all of that in. And I can honestly say that I have been a very high achieving, busy mom, athlete, career driven woman for most of my life. And I thought that really was what strength was. I thought it was what resilience was. And I learned after my heart attack, when I had no place to go but laying down, letting my heart heal, to really fine tune and figure out this is not what strength is. Strength is not running so fast that it causes your heart to tear. Strength is in the moments where you have no choice but to sit there and be in the moment that you're going through to get through to the other side. And it's about having the courage to rise when no one else knows that you're falling. And that is a really tough place to be in, and in your head, as you had said.
First of all, let's talk about your heart for a second. Physically today, how are you? How are you feeling? And how long was the actual recovery?
Yes, thank you for asking. So my heart is doing great these days. I have had to make a lot of adjustments in my life. I was a competitive athlete, bodybuilder, and had been lifting weights since I was 16 years old, which was a big part of my identity. And after I had my SCAD, I was told I could no longer do that. It was absolutely devastating. It was an identity loss for myself. And I really had to find ways to channel that. And I grieved the loss of that. So the recovery itself was really hard for the first year, I would say. The first 3 months were the hardest. It was when I would just walk up a flight of stairs and I'd be out of breath. I couldn't really drive. I was on a lot of medications. My heart ended up, the artery healed itself. A lot of SCAD patients need open heart surgery or stents to go into their arteries to fix it. But thankfully for me, it was in a place where it was able to heal on its own. And I do contribute a lot of that to how healthy and fit I was prior to having the SCAD. And these days, I take a lot of caution, like I said before, on the things that I can do. But I have to be careful because SCAD is actually something that can reoccur. Yeah. And so but the problem I will say as well is we don't know a lot about women's heart health. We don't know a lot about women's hearts or SCAD. So there's a long list of things that I should or shouldn't do. But at the same time, doctors will say, well, we don't know that much about it, but what we do know is. So I've really had to take a step back and look at that list and make decisions on my own on what I think would be best for me. Because at the end of the day, exercise overall is good for your heart. It's what helps people live longer. In my situation, I have to actually scale back to do things less, which makes no sense, but that's the reality of the world I live in now.
But isn't that true though? Like if I used to competitively cycle when I was much younger. And
I love that.
And if I could continue you love that I used to competitively cycle, or the fact that I was much younger, meaning I'm much older right now?
You used to competitively cycle.
So if you kept cycling at the same pace, eventually you would just burn out. You need to slow down to go higher. You need to slow down to go faster. So let's look at that analogy here with your life. Obviously, someone who's been successful in doing this. This is the ultimate in a slowdown for you.
Yeah.
How today does Tara Benoit find her pace?
That's a great question. And it was through a lot of bumps going up and down on a roller coaster, to be honest with you. I realized after my SCAD, I wasn't truly happy. I had built a career in recruiting, which I loved and I had some passion for, but in the recovery and connecting with other purpose-fueled women and people that were going through their own struggles, I realized that this is where I'm supposed to be. And so these days I am working on coming full circle with that purpose. I wrote my book, which was, released about 3 weeks ago, and having to take a step back. And I think looking at it, all of us do this. All of us are in a situation where we cannot stop until we're forced, whether it's a sickness, an illness, a loss, something tragic. And unfortunately, that's what brings us to where we actually are meant to be. And I do feel as though this SCAD happened for a reason. And at some point, I also say that the heart attack saved my life because it put me into a different perspective of understanding what's really valuable in my life, what's important, and letting go of everything else. And again, that I was working, 9-10 hours a day, working out once or twice, even a day sometimes working. And now it's really what is important? What can I manage? how can I really help my health? Not just physically, but inside. And a lot of us are always constantly looking for the lower number on the scale or how our clothes fit. But what are we doing to our health internally? And that is full circle where I've come today.
How are you feeling today?
Amazing.
By the way, that was the opening question. Before I hit record, I just said, "How are you doing today?" And she says she's amazing. But I think, how much of it do you think is because of the way you've rethought about your life, but also maybe you've, at this moment in your life, you found the right balance, the right cadence, if you would. I keep using the cycling analogy. I'm going to keep going.
No, that
It's
keep
rolling.
using it. I'm a Peloton fan, so I can relate to some extent. Yeah. You know, it has, but with that said, anytime we go through something where we're creating a change or doing something new, it's scary. There's a lot of fear in it. I have sort of walked away from a business that I was running for 17 years to jump into something brand new at 48 years old. And so even though I would consider myself thriving, it's sort of something that's always evolving. It's evolving every day and it's moving every week and every month. But I will tell you, for the first time in my life, I'm actually excited about my life in a way that I wasn't excited about it before, because I've realized what really makes me happy. And it's connecting with other people, sharing my story, helping other people that are going through really anything in their life where they didn't think that they could survive or walk through or get to the other side. Because if you would have asked me 2.5 years ago if I would be on this podcast talking about surviving a heart attack, walking away from my business that was stable to write a book and start a new platform at 48 years old, I would have never believed you. But here I am. And I wake up every day so excited about, talking to individuals like you, sharing my story, seeing what is possible and what's going to happen from all of this. And I know deep down in my heart that this is all meant for a bigger purpose. And I believe everybody has the opportunity to have their story for whatever it may be. Similarly, I really do.
Move into you. Can you talk about this new coaching program that you have, what it's about, and what it is focused on?
Yes. So Move Into You, I'm super excited about, is a coaching program that I am currently in the process of launching. And it really comes off of the MOVE method. The MOVE method I have in my book, which is an acronym that is a pillar for framework that I put together. Very simple, actionable items that you can do every day through struggles or anything you're going through for your life. It stands for manage. So you manage, take control of what you can manage, overcome, value, and evolve. And some of those pillars and steps come in different points of your life or the situation. But I can tell you, these are things that I have done always, but during the recovery, I really honed in and used those tools to help me really get to where I am now. So the coaching program is really built off of that, into helping women really get back and connect to their bodies through mind, body, and soul work. So it's really looking at not only the physical aspect of ourselves and the health of that, but also mentally and sort of full circle transformation, embodiment work.
Over your left shoulder, we can see Torn Heart, obviously a phenomenal title. It's a gift that you've given to the world. We're very excited about. Obviously, it had just recently been released out into the universe. Even in this short period of time that the book has been out there, obviously you've given the world a gift, but there's always this happy accident that content creators get in return. Tara, what is the gift that you have received in putting Torn Heart, a journey through trauma, truth, and transformation, out into the universe?
This is probably my favorite question so far. Since I've released the book, I have received multiple daily messages from people who have read my book, and they've screenshot, different sections, and they have shared with me how inspiring my words were for them and their story. And it's been from SCAD survivors who never had a voice like I didn't when it happened to me. It's from other heart survivors. And honestly, it's just from people of all walks of life who said, I picked up your book and I thought that it was about just your heart attack, but it's not. It's about walking through different parts of your life and choosing to keep going when you didn't want to. And they were surprised, but were just so, it could relate to their story. And that warms my heart because that is exactly why I wrote the book. It's almost supposed to feel like a big hug when you need it.
Love it. Let's do the admin part of the show, and then we're going to have a fun stroll down Fun Street. Tara,
I love
share with the listeners where people can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me pretty much anywhere. My website is tarabenoit.com. You can also find me on Amazon. Torn Heart is on Amazon as well as on my website. My Instagram handle is Tara Benoit Inspires. You can also find me on LinkedIn at Tara Benoit.
Love it. Tara was born ready. That is literally what we said before we hit go on this show. So we don't need to ask her if she's ready to go down Fun Street, but we're going to do like a little on-ramp here. We're just going to ease into it. Recently, we've adjusted the question that we usually ask, where I used to ask, what is your all-time favorite movie? But now I've given it kind of like up to a Mount Rushmore.
Oh, wow.
You don't have to go up to 4, but if there's like 1, 2, or maybe 3 that stick out, does Benoit have an all-time, what's in the all-time class or the Mount Rushmore of her favorite movies?
Oh, so a couple of things. So The Notebook is my favorite movie of all times. I don't know who does not love that. And I cry every single time I watch it. But I am such a fan of all sports movies that end with you just wanting to like run and do something. I don't know if that's the athlete in me, but all of them. Rudy, Remember the Titans, Jerry Maguire, those have to all be my absolute favorite. It just, all of them have a story of resilience and getting through something that you never thought you could get through. And I can relate to that in so many ways.
We are now arriving on Fun Street, and we're going to do the Speakeasy Pub Crawl. We're going to stop at all the fun places on Fun Street that mean a lot to Tara Benoit. And Tara's going to kick ass in this department, I have a feeling. So here we go. Tara, let's just start off. We're strolling down the street. What music are we listening to? Is there a jam that you have of late or some kind of song that's running through your head? It could be timely. It could be something that's like an all-time. But what's the song and the beat that we're walking to?
So I'm a big fan of electric dance music, EDM. So anything that has dance, music, beat, is really my favorite. That's what I listen to when I work out too.
Love it. Favorite food that is not a dessert?
I'm really boring here, I have to tell you. I eat super healthy, and so I don't think anybody's gonna like what I have to say. But I truly, truly love vegetables. I could just cut up vegetables and stir fry them and eat them every day.
Just to be clear, this is your version of Fun Street. This is nobody else's. We don't care what anybody else
This
thinks.
is my Fun Street is vegetables. Yes.
Vegetables.
It doesn't sound fun, but
what's
it
the
is.
go-to vegetable? What's like, you got a choice. There's a rainbow of vegetables. What's your favorite?
I love sauteed spinach.
Ooh, good one. Okay.
With sea salt sprinkled on it.
If you were to have dessert, what would be your all-time favorite dessert?
So my all-time favorite dessert is yogurt-covered pretzels.
I like
White chocolate or white yogurt-covered pretzels. Actually, I tried strawberry ones last week.
I didn't even know that existed. That's pretty cool.
I didn't either, and I saw them in the store, and I love pink, and I said I have to have this, and so I tried them, and they were delicious.
An activity that you wish you did more of?
Oh, that's easy. Travel.
Okay.
Travel, yeah. I have a 9 and 11-year-old, so we don't travel as much, but I would like to do more of that.
An activity you wish you did less of?
Laundry.
I hear you on that one. Like, I'm just gonna sidebar here. Recently, my much better half, she made a comment like, "Okay, we need to do the laundry," and I stopped and I go, "Didn't we just do the laundry?" I felt like making the donuts. Like I felt like it never ends. It's like a constant cycle of clothing cleaning.
It is.
Totally.
And then it's clothes all over the house at the same time. So I'm not sure what's happening there.
You have a 9 and 11-year-old. I can't even imagine at the zone. I remembered it, but it's a little it's faded in my memory. A new activity, one you've recently tried, you like so much, you want to share with the listeners that they should try it too.
A new activity. That's a good one. I don't know if I have a new activity.
We only ask good questions here on Thrive.
That's a really good question. I've been doing a lot. Well, I've always meditated. I've been doing a lot more, but I've been working on specific breathing techniques within the meditation. And they have helped me tremendously. And I actually do them in the morning. I sometimes get up earlier than my kids, or I'll even lay in bed and do them, but it sets my nervous system for the day. So if anybody is interested, you can even just Google or go onto YouTube. And like, for example, box breathing is an easy one. You go up and down all around. But, a lot of times we get up and think about it, wake up to an alarm clock. So our nervous system is already, through the roof. But this helps really balance you and set the tone for the day. So try it out.
I like that. By the way, we produce a podcast series that the two hosts are mindfulness coaches, and
I love that.
They do a meditation at the top of every show. Pretty cool stuff. And I learned about box. That's the first time I'd ever heard the term box.
Oh yeah.
Learned it there.
Yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
it's magical and it's free, and more people should do it.
Yeah. If I could snap my fingers, this is a good question because she loves to travel, and you could be anywhere in the world, where are you?
On an island.
Any island? I mean, not like Long Island. Like you could be on any island.
So I absolutely love the beach and the ocean and the sand. And I've never been to Hawaii before, but I also would love to try, Maldives would be a great place. But I'd want to be with everybody that I love too. So it's kind of like both of those.
Torn heart, Tara Benoit. She is all heart. Thank you so much for coming on the program. You are truly an inspiration, and everyone go check it out. Go grab the book. Go check and see all her talks and things and her coaching programs and everything move into you. But more importantly, keep doing what you're doing. And thank you for coming on the program. It was such an honor to have you here.
Oh, thanks, Lou. I had such a great time.
You got it. To all our listeners and viewers out there, thank you for joining us. Till next time, keep moving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Check us out on the web at thriveloud.com and follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at Thrive Loud. And check us out on the Good Pods app at Thrive Loud, where you can follow, listen, and connect directly to Lou and all of the Thrive Loud episodes. Thanks for listening.